Hello students, welcome to our English class. Today we are going to learn chapter 4, the poem The Earthworm's Monologue, written by Elizabeth Jennings. Now before we start, let me tell you something about the poetess. Elizabeth Jennings was born in the year of 1926 and she has passed away in 2001. She was an English poet, that means she hailed from UK. She published her first collection of poetry in 1953 and was famous for her consistent devotion to poetry. Jennings wrote over 20 books on poetry, including new collected poems. Now, student, after that, I would like to brief you about what is meant by monologue. Monologue means a long speech given by a single person. Now, the title of the poem is The Earthworm's Monologue, right? So, here the earthworm is the leading character who is giving a long speech to us, and who is the silent listener? We students, we, the listener. We are the silent listener. We are the readers as well as the silent listener who is listening to a long speech given by the little earthworm, right? So here are two questions that have been said, that have been asked, that what do you associate an earthworm with? Generally, students, we associate earthworm with an insect found in the gardens or in a swampy, marshy land, or sometimes we nowadays earthworms are very much useful to till the soil, especially when we do some vermiculture, like when we make the compost. Compost means some fertilizer for the plants, that time what do? We take the organic waste, the biodegradable wastes into a place, and we add some earthworms to it. Slowly and steadily those wastes get rotten, and the earthworm has a major role, major function to play, that is tilling the within that rotten things. They till everything up and down, in and out, and turn it into a soil, a loose softened soil, which is called compost. That is the fertilizer which is needed to grow plants, and plants of flowers and vegetables, right? So generally we use earthworm, we associate earthworm with that activity. Would you like to keep a couple of them as pets? Why or why not? So this particular question I'm going to retrieve from you. I would like to invite you to share your opinion at the end of the explanation given right over here in this video. Let's start. Now, birds prey on me. Fish are fond of my flesh. My body is like a sausage. It lacks the snacks. Sinews, splendor and color, yes, I am absurd. Yet I also till and soften the soil I prepare. The way for flowers, spring depends upon me. At least a little, mark me if you will. Cut me in half, I'll come together again. But haven't you felt a fool? Hated your shape? Wanted to hide? If so, I'm your friend. I would sympathize with you. Were I not so busy? But bend down over me. You who are not yet tall, and be proud of all you contain in a body so small. So, over here students, before I start giving you the explanation of this poem line by line, I would like to ask you that generally people on this earth find themselves very odd, out of the way they think. They show some disgust towards themselves because of an odd body shape. Some may be fat, some may be short, so of various shapes and sizes, but they're all the gifts of God. We forget that, isn't it? God the Lord God create all the creatures and send all the creatures with some purpose on this earth to serve. But people forget that purpose of their existence, that they're all the children of Lord God and are sent on this earth. Their existence is meant for some purpose to be fulfilled, but to get fulfilled. But forgetting that what people get frustrated of, if they are of odd shape, if they are D-shaped, they look more into their skin colors. If somebody is dark complexion, and if somebody is short, if somebody is fat, they look, I think at some point of time you yourself might have also felt so. Standing in front of the mirror and looking at yourself, you might have found that why my ears are like this, why my nose is a little bit like a button or something like that, why it is not so sharp, why I don't have pretty eyes or something like that. You must have, we cannot deny on that. If not, then it's very nice. But students, I must tell you that people have this habit. Sometimes they get annoyed, they sometimes get saddened by the fact that they are so ugly, they are so misfit, they are so D-shaped. There maybe some are dark complexion, maybe some are fat, some are short, but whatever, we must not forget that we are all children of the Lord God. We are created by Him and we are sent on this earth to serve some purpose. So our existence is not altogether purposeless. We must not lose our identity, whatever we are with, we are born with. We should take pride of that. We should be proud of our existence, right? So over here, students, it's been said, birds prey on me. Fish are fond of my flesh. So the earthworm is initiating in the initial lines of the first three lines. The earthworm is lamenting. I must not categorize it as he or she. Rather, I must tell it as it. So it is lamenting that birds find me as prey. They feed on me. Even the fish. If you see somebody with a fishing line sitting, what they hook into to catch the fish at the end of the thread are those earthworms. They tuck the earthworms at the hook at the end of the fishing line's thread, and they dip the thread into the water to catch the fish. The fish finds the flesh of earthworm very fleshy. They are fond of earthworms. They come, they get attracted, and they got caught, and they get hooked in the fishing rod. And that's how people catch fish. So earthworm over here is lamenting over its fleshy kind of a body, that as I am little bit fleshy, means it has not got any skeletal structure. It is not bony at all. Rather, it's a kind of a flesh, mere flesh. So birds prey on me means birds feed on me. Fish also feed on me because I am a mere flesh. My body is like a sausage. Now you all know what is called sausage. Even the meaning is given at the back, student. The sausage means a food item in the form of cylindrical length. Right. So it's been said over here that my body is like a sausage, means it's cylindrical in shape. You can see over here, it's just a cylindrical shape, fleshy body with no bony structures in it, because it is counted among the non-vertebrates. Even snakes have a little are like spineless creatures, but still earthworm is more of that. It is looking like a sausage. It looks like a sausage rather, and it lacks the snake's sinuous splendor. That means even he is resembling like a snake in the shape. As far as the cylindrical shape is concerned, earthworms are looking like a shape, but it is not as good, as glamorous as the snakes are. Why? Because it lacks that sinuous splendor. Sinuous means having many curves and turns. Even it is given at the back, like sinuous means having many curves and turns. So over here, students, it's been said that the splendor means magnificent. It is again given over here, magnificent and splendid in appearance. So over here it's been said that but why the earthworm is not exactly like the snake. Why it is lacking the glamour of the snake? Because snakes has bright colors, you know, and many curves. When it slithers around, what it does, it took many twists and turns, and that's how we find the snake's body with lot of curves, with lot of turns. But earthworm is a small creature, though it is looking like a snake, small snake with a cylindrical shape, but it has not many curves, not many turns, and it is dull in color. It is dull in color. That's how the earthworm is not exactly like a snake. It lacks the snake's sinuous splendor and color. And the earthworm is saying that yes, I'm absurd. I'm looking so disgusting, so disgustful, you know. I'm very odd. I'm very absurd. Yet I also till and soften the soil. From the fourth line here itself, the earthworm becomes conscious about its own existence, about its own identity, about its own purpose to serve on this earth, right? So he is saying, it is saying that I also till and soften the soil. Means what it does, it goes up and down, and even if the soil is hard, it just acts like a plow, till the soil and makes it soften. And that's how it prepares the way for flowers. It prepares the soil bed for the flowers to bloom. Spring depends upon me. So spring is equivalent, or spring is symbolic. Here it is written in capital S, as you can see, because it is not only the name of a season but also very much symbolic to say that spring is followed by winter. Winter, we generally associate winter with dullness, with lifelessness, right? But spring is full of life. Spring is short-lived in the European countries, to which our poetess Elizabeth Jennings belongs, or rather belonged, I must say, because she has passed away. Anyways, so over here, the spring is very short-lived in the European countries. She is an English poet, and she is referring to the spring and full of life, where we can see that the flowers, the blossoms are in full spread, and everywhere the life touches. Everywhere the sun shines, the cold, dull, gloomy grey winter goes away, fades away, and spring brings back life to the entire earth, right? So the earthworm is saying that the spring depends upon me. So the life over here depends upon the brightness of life. Not only life, but the brightness of life which is brought during the spring depends upon me, because I till the soil, I make the soil soften, and thereby I prepare the bed for the flowers, the soil bed for the flowers to bloom in abundance, in plenty numbers, right? So after that, it is saying that at least a little, even if I have a very little part to play to bring spring, but still, even if it is little, still it has got a lot of significance to bring life back on earth after winter. So mock me if you will. So if you want, you can laugh or tease me. So the mock meaning is given at the back, to tease or laugh in a way to insult someone. So it is saying that mock me if you will, cut me in half, I will come together again. So the earthworm is saying that if you wish, you can laugh at me, you can tease me for my dish-shaped body, for my dull color, for my odd look, and cut me in half. I'll come together again, but I have enough strength to gather, to continue to exist on this earth. But haven't you felt a fool, hated your shape? Have you ever felt yourself that you hate your shape, or by doing so, don't you think that you are just making yourself fool? You wanted to hide. You want to hide something, your shape or your dish-shaped body or your dark complexion, whichever way you have been brought to this earth, you are born on this earth, you want to hide? If so, it is a foolish act. If so, it is not only a foolish act, I can assure you, the earthworm is saying that I can assure you that if so, I am your friend. I am your friend. I am there to sympathize with you. And I am not so busy that I will leave you. I will leave you in a hurry just for the sake of my work, that how busy I am. But bend down over me. You might think yourself taller than me, but to look over me, to look upon me, you have to bend down. You who are not yet tall. So what this sentence means, that the tallest is God. You can consider yourself tall, but don't consider yourself tallest, because the God is the tallest above all. He is above us. He is there looking upon us. So be humble, be grounded, be modest, and bend down. Be humble, remain grounded, and be proud of all you contain in a body so small. Even if you are a small body, be proud of your existence. Be proud of what you are, how you are born with, how you are sent to on this earth by Lord God. So that is what is been the meaning, the message which has been sent out through this poem by the poet Elizabeth Jennings. The name of the poem is Earthworm's Monologue. Right, students? Okay.